a week late, but we just enjoyed and loved every moment of this movie. And Miga Nala Questa. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Buddies and Blockbusters. I'm your host, AJ, and we're here to review the one and only Lilo Stitch, the live action remake. Before we get into the review, I've got to confess something, which probably is going to be controversial. I think I'm in the minority, no pun intended, but in terms of being one of the only 30-year-olds who hasn't watched the original Lilo and Stitch back in the day. I know it's crazy to think that I missed something like this because I'm a Disney guy. You know, I was born when the freaking Lion King was released. I'm Simba, so keep that in mind. So any other Disney movies or the series and stuff like that, I was in tune with it. Even the Cartoon Network stuff in my childhood, you know, from Pokemon to Beyblade all the way to Dragon Ball Z. I was in it. I was kind of confused on why I wasn't in the loop with Lilo and Stitch. I also called up my mom and basically asked her like, why didn't you introduce me? And she was like, that's on you, boy. And because of that, you know, myself, my wife, we decided to watch the original last week. And guess what? I think this is why we're soulmates, because she also hasn't watched Lilo and Stitch. So perfect. We watched it, we loved it, and of course, Stitch is so adorable, and we just loved every bit of what he brings to the table, whether it's his disastrous stuff all the way to the lovey-dovey cuteness that he is as this being is something that we both really loved end to end, and especially the bond between Lilo and Stitch and the back and forth and that dynamic of Ohana. I really liked that piece. The whole movie was just perfect. So the live action now was more about expectations of, hey, are they going to match it and stuff? And truth be told, my initial reaction, they did. Yes, they have a couple of changes. For the folks who are true fans of the original, you're going to scratch your head about why didn't they just add or just stick to it shot by shot? Because it is not. They do have a couple of changes here, whether it's the characters and a bit of the storyline has been changed for various reasons. But does that deviate from the fact that this is a great movie? No. I still had a great time. I still connected with the movie, and that emotional bond that Lilo and Stitch has, I think it was a bit more enhanced here because there's a couple of scenes which was not part of the original, which made us, or at least me, connected to Stitch a lot more. There's a couple of things that he does in this where you feel, okay, God, he's already adorable. He's already lovable. He's so cute. And when he does all of these other stuff, it's like, I want one. So in terms of the story, everything is the same outside of those mini changes, right? The one main thing was Captain Gantu's not in this. You've seen the news, it's all over the place. It's not something that I'm spoiling here. Jamba kind of takes the role of Captain Gantu and being this baddie, which was questionable. I did see the interview with the director as well, which, you know, I get it. You have, you know, aliens and you put them on Earth and it's a live action. You're trying to make it look like realistic a bit. And that's why you have Zach Galifianakis and Billy Magnuson as Jamba and Pickley. My question would be, okay, if you did that with these folks, you could have done the same thing for Captain Gantu, right? Like you would have just changed him into like a human form and made something work. I think that was missing in my mind. And I feel if we can roll with whatever you did with Zach Galifianakis and Billy, I'm pretty sure you could do the same thing with Captain Gantu. And then, yes, there's also a difference with the story ending between Nani and Lilo's hats. That was different, but I didn't feel like it was such a huge issue. And the whole neighbor piece with David and his Rama plays a bit more of a pivotal role with Lilo's life. So that's something that's infused. And there's a couple of additional scenes with Stitch, which was not included. And I think those were a bit more emotional compared to the original. So yes, you might scratch your head. Yes, you might think that why didn't they just stick to the original shot by shot? But I would still say this is a great movie that you need to go and watch with your kids. They're going to have a blast. And the soul of the movie, just like the title says, is Lilo and Stitch. Their bond, and keep in mind, the little girl who plays Lilo, I believe that this is her debut. Maia Kealoha, I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. You did a great job. You're so adorable. And you could tell in a few scenes that, okay, she's kind of a rookie, but she's trying her best to show those expressions and stuff. I just like the dynamic that she brought onto the screen with Stitch. And whatever they did with Stitch, just like the Sonic franchise, that's the way to do a live action. That's the way to bring in something that's an alien or something out of the norm into a live action movie. That was perfect. And I'm going to hope and pray that Disney continues to be consistent in delivering such kind of movies for a remake, compared to the freaking disaster with Snow White. I'll be honest, this movie is doing really well in the box office, but that's not it. It's also the marketing and the advertising of this movie is spot on and the best. The marketing team needs to get like a raise or something like that because they did a great job end to end for this movie. And the rest of the cast also does a good job in complementing each other for this movie. And most of the original cast or the voice actors from the original are characters in this movie. And the whole Jamba and Piglet thing, it was fine. You can just roll with it. Nothing great and stuff. To me, I just fell in love with Lilo and Stitch and their presence on screen. Whenever they're not on screen, I'm like, yeah, just get them back, right? And I had a great time. A couple of scenes that's really emotional. I sense a lot of crying in the theater because it was that vibe during those scenes. So my recommendation is y'all should definitely go and watch the movie. And if you have kids, they're gonna love this movie end to end. And for the OG fans, yes, there's changes. Just keep that aside a bit. It's not going to affect the whole journey of this movie. But yes, I do agree with you in terms of there's a couple of scenes that they should have just kept it from the original because I had that same feeling as you, so I totally understand. So for the folks who watched Lilo and Stitch, what did you guys think of the movie? Did you like this iteration or are you sticking to the original? Let me know in the comments, and as always, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share.